Stephen Smith has waited almost a decade for justice. It's now determined that the law enforcement doesn't believe he died in the middle of the street, right? There wasn't a hit and run, but he's been buried for years. With everybody just saying nothing to see here. And now there's something to see because listen, great detail unearthed by a fantastic tweeter. Sleuthy Goosey is her Twitter account, and she just happened to notice in some of the reports that were filed in the Stephen Smith death investigation, not everybody agreed on what he was wearing. Oh, come on. If there's one thing you should be able to agree on, is what was on the person's body, right? So the original reports were the sheriff's office, and they said he had on a white polo shirt and khakis, and then the black shoes. Navy shoes, they said actually navy shoes, blue shoes. And that's interesting, but they were on the scene first with the medical examiner, and then along came the Highway Patrol. Okay, South Carolina Highway Patrol was there all within about an hour. And the highway patroller that showed up first, who did his job, right? He was doing exactly what he's supposed to do, walking the scene, looking for evidence. He did everything. And then, he did the thing that you're supposed to do, grabs his books, his files, and he uncovers the body. And he gets a first look at Stephen Smith wearing not a white polo shirt, a black T-shirt. Now, I will admit I make loads of mistakes. We all do. We're all human. Little things, slip-ups, balls drop, all the rest. And some of them, for all of us, I think you can attest. Sometimes you make mistakes too, and we just do. But that's a big one. That's black and white. Literally black and white. White golf shirt with a collar. Black Nike T-shirt, no collar, and it's black. So if there's discrepancy, who disagrees? The incident report for the sheriff had the white polo shirt, but that was the only entity that had the white polo shirt. Those responding officers from the Highway Patrol, hell no. Black Nike, short sleeve shirt. Period. End of sentence. And that's what the ME said too. And that's what all of the other investigators who went to the funeral home and saw his body there said too. Black T-shirt, khaki shorts, dark shoes. I know a lot of people have been freaking out about the dark shoes. I know that the reports say blue shoes, and then the internet says black shoes, and we think we know the discrepancy there because the reports from the investigators all say the same thing, and they say blue. But when you look at the picture from the scene, they look very, very dark. They look black. And the investigator I spoke with exclusively said that's probably the reason. They probably appeared black, but they were blue in the reports. This is all super important, folks, because this investigation went cold. It was what you call a cold case. It was not closed. Lots of people say it was closed. It was reopened. It was not. They gave it a big injection after investigating the Murdaughs. The Paul and Maggie Murdaugh murders turned up something. Some mystery piece of evidence that made them take a second look at Stephen Smith. Something really important made them realize, oh, dear God, based on the information gathered during the course of the double murder investigation of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh, well, we're going to need to take a fresh old look at Stephen Smith. And then along came the announcement that it was no longer being considered a hit and run, but instead a murder. Really interesting. Really interesting stuff. I want to bring in Joseph Scott Morgan. He is a certified death investigator. It's literally what he does. Forensic analyst. He's a distinguished scholar of applied forensics at Jacksonville State University. He's literally the teacher of this art. So I have a lot of questions for you, and I'm also going to bring in Tony Brueski, who is the host of the popular Hidden Killers podcast, has been covering this since the beginning, knows every single little bit. I'm going to start with you, Joe. I don't think I've ever seen a discrepancy so black and white, pardon the pun, before. But you give me your expertise here and tell me why you think this happened or could have happened or heck no, did not happen. Somebody somewhere stinks.
somebody's not paying attention to detail. I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter,
Oh,
and
it's
right
more
now
than
she knows a lot of her colors at this point. She certainly knows
Yeah.
black and white. And so, you know, the shoes are one thing, Ash. But when you begin to talk about a shirt, and this is a very distinctive shirt, we're not just talking about, you know, something like a white T-shirt. They specifically said a white polo, I believe. And now, you know, as demonstrated here, we've got this dark color Nike T-shirt, and obviously this has been taken. This image that you're seeing here, it's probably been taken at the morgue after this has been removed from the body. I think the big question is, was there something else over this at that particular time? Had it been removed at some point in time? Because that is a monstrous discrepancy. And white, particularly for us at scenes, when you have rollover type or even body strike motor vehicle accidents like this, white reveals a lot of truth at the scene. You don't need any kind of alternative lighting. Many times you'll see markings on the white. Things contrast really well. So that would be a very distinctive piece of evidence. And if you're digging back into this, I'd want to ask very, very hard, who had eyes on? You'd mentioned that the SO was out there. Was the coroner there as well? If the coroner was there, you got two separate sources of information. I want to know what they saw. I want to know what's contained in their report.
I said the ME was out on the scene. It was the coroner who was out on the scene, and the coroner and the sheriff were there first. And the sheriff, here's another exclusive piece of information that the investigating officer, Tommy Moore, told me, and that was that when he got there, the first thing that the coroner and the sheriff's department said to him was, looks like we got a gunshot wound here, looks like a murder. We don't need you. Goodbye. Send him away. Right? Send him away. He thought, why y'all sending me away? I'm here anyway. I might as well do my job, do the walk around. He did the walk around. He did everything. He notated, not seeing things that you normally see here. But he was sent away. And an hour later, he was called back. And when he was called back, suddenly the coroner and that sheriff's detachment said, now we're pretty sure it's a hit and run. And this is before an autopsy's even been done. So now, and he's saying, well, hold the phone here. I was already here an hour ago, did the walk around. It's not a hit and run. I can tell you right now, I've been doing this business a long time, not a hit and run.
Yeah.
And they were adamant. So it's a bit weird. And I'm going to bring you into this, Tony Brueski. What am I getting wrong in all of this? And what are you seeing that you're shocked? And by the way, I just want to give a quick warning to our viewers. We're going to show some of the crime scene photos now, but I just want to make sure our viewers understand if you are squeamish, if you're, you know, if you have trouble with this kind of stuff, it's coming. So, you know, look away and do what you will. But what you will not see is the face of Stephen Smith. We've got that blurred. There is some blood, but we've blurred best we can so that you can see the shirt, you can see the shoes, you can see the position, and then you'll see his car with his wallet tucked into the door, between the seat and the door. So with that, go ahead, answer that question about what stands out to you, Tony.
I don't think you're missing anything. I think it just completely plays into the whole, there's something else going on here. There's some sort of cover up that is obviously happening here. The fact that we are talking about, is it a hit and run or is this a body dropped, and how quickly that changed depending on who was talking about it. I think somebody along that time window within that hour, there was a phone call or something that was made saying, this needs to be a hit and run. And if there's anything that makes it look like it wasn't, we should try and get rid of that. And maybe there was a T-shirt there or something that we needed to remove or change to go along with our story. We're going to do it, and hopefully nobody notices. And it took all this time now to this day for somebody to notice those discrepancies, that there's something very nefarious going on here that needs to be investigated in the Low Country, because there is some shady police work going on.
So let me ask you this, Joe, Scott. And again, I show these pictures only because of the critical forensic value of them. I always find it difficult thinking about a mom and a sister, a twin sister, who would struggle mightily knowing that those pictures are on television. But they would probably also feel as though if this drives justice, then so be it. Then my son should be shown the way he was, as opposed to the way a report said. What would your question be with your expertise, your background, Joe, knowing somebody said white polo shirt? Would it be, where is the white polo shirt? Or would it be, why did you make the mistake?
We're going to sit down and have a conversation and determine that. I want to know, where is the shirt? Why did you make that determination? Because it's so very glaring. And if you take a look at Stephen's body there in the road, this is very peculiar to me, having worked many, many motor vehicle accidents, particularly pedestrians struck by vehicles. I worked in Atlanta and New Orleans as a death investigator. I saw many pedestrians. Here's the thing. His body doesn't necessarily show evidence, at least externally, relative to the clothing as it applies to what we refer to as rollover injuries. And that's where you have tearing of the clothing because the car literally passes over the body. It's not just the tires, Ash. You're talking about the undercarriage of the car, which would also contain any element of trace evidence. You could have fiber evidence. You could also have tissue underneath the car. I'm not seeing that here. And you see the ripping and tearing of clothing many times with that. That's not evidenced here. Those khaki shorts that you're seeing, they would just be glaring. You would see like grease, that sort of thing that would really stand out on the surface of those. This is an odd situation. I find it curious too that he's laying in the middle of the road, and there is this large area of blood that appears to be draining away from the body. It's. I got to tell you, if I was looking at this, it almost looks like a deposition of a body as opposed to someone struck in the middle of the road. He's not thrown away. There's no debris field like you see with a pedestrian versus a vehicle, where you see shattered pieces of car that are laying about. We can agree that most cars are made very cheaply now. So you can have bits of fiberglass, broken lens caps for headlights, all the bits of grill, all that sort of thing. And I even think that someone had mentioned the ME that did the post. She mentioned that she thought this might be a mirror strike. A mirror strike.
Well, the weird thing was the argument that Lieutenant Tommy Moore had with the ME, and it got heated because he said, "What are you talking about? That's crazy. This was not a hit and run." She said, well, the body was in the road, and he was livid about that. He said that the frustration and the anger was palpable. And I'm just going to mention one more thing. We're low on time because of the Trump story, but it's just so incredibly sad that this boy was found on Sandy Run Road. His mother's name is Sandy Smith. I have to have both of you back, Joseph Scott Morgan and also Tony Brueski. Thank you for being patient with our breaking news off the top, and we'll have you back to talk more about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.